Good morning, everyone. What a great day it is today. What can you say about a bridge? I thought about that for a while, and I didn't really know what I could say about it that would be creative and inspiring until I sat down here just a few moments ago, and I took a look at the bridge, and there it is. It's rising upward. It's rising onward. It is the latest in technological design, the latest in acoustic design. And where does it lead? It leads to something we call the GC3, the Creative Campus. Of course, it goes by our power plant that shows that Glendale is industrious and will always serve the needs of its people. And it leads on to some of the greatest companies in Southern California, if not the entire nation, and that's Disney and DreamWorks. And we're hoping that this bridge will lead the creative minds from all over Southern California onward and upward to create, to produce, to make us laugh, to be productive, and to be industrious. And that's what Glendale is about, and that's what California and this great country is all about, being productive and being industrious and being creative. This was not an easy bridge to build, I can tell you that. I remember back when I was on the Transportation and Parking Commission, probably about 15, 16 years ago, and Jono was around still, way back then, and he talked about this bridge, he talked about this flyover, and we sort of looked at him and said, Jono, there's no way we're going to get a bridge built. And when he talked about how much money it would cost, $40 million, we said, there's no way that we can get this bridge built. But naysayers be damned, they kept at it. The engineers kept at it. Our friends on the city council at that time, Larry Zarian, Dave Weaver was on council back then, and many others at that time kept at it. And our friends across the river kept at it. Our friends at Disney and our friends at DreamWorks. And we kept at it. And slowly but surely, the pieces came together. Metro, LAMTA got involved. And Metrolink got involved. And Caltrans got involved. And we kept at it. And soon enough, the pieces were all there. The pieces were all there. And of course, at that time, some of our friends got to higher places. Larry Zarian got to the CTC and helped us along. It is something that we should all be proud of. And people said, why make such a big deal about this? You've got a marching band, and you've got the tent and the catering. Well, we should be proud of this in Glendale. We should be proud that we're successfully completed this bridge, that it was on time, that it was under budget, that the intrusions on our neighbors just on the other side of the wash here were kept to a minimum. And we did the very best we can to give you what we have today. And hopefully this will be a very practical bridge, and it'll keep people out of the neighborhoods, and those that need to get across to their jobs can do so quietly, quickly, and glide across this bridge that leads onward and upward. So congratulations to the entire team. This was a team effort of public entities, of private companies, of the neighbors, of all the great brains that we have on our public works staff, and all the community outreach people that tried to explain to the neighbors why they were getting those backup signals on the big trucks at 2 a.m. in the morning, and why the dust was floating over their neighborhoods and it seemed like the ground was shaking like a herd of elephants. But that's all behind. We're done with this. This is now a great connection from Central Glendale to our creative campus. I think we all deserve a round of applause for that success. This couldn't be done without the continuous support of members of the Glendale City Council. Not all of them from the past are here today, but several of them who sit on the dais with me today are here. I'd like to invite up Laura Friedman, I'd like to invite up Dave Weaver, because they deserve as much recognition as anyone for sticking to this project and making sure it got completed on time. Laura Friedman.
It's a beautiful day for a bridge dedication. I was listening to the mayor's speech and thinking about timing. And as he was speaking, you probably noticed that the sun came out from behind the clouds and shone on our beautiful new bridge. And I was reminded of some other interesting bits of timing with regard to this dedication. Just yesterday, the Glendale Redevelopment Agency voted unanimously to designate and to move forward with the San Fernando Creative Corridor project. So this bridge being dedicated today is really the first step in what's going to be a revitalization and the future of the corridor as an economic and creative engine for the city of Glendale. And that makes me extremely proud and hopeful. And for the neighbors who live across the wash and around these properties who have dealt with months and months of inconvenience, to say the least, I thank them for their patience, for their understanding, and it's my hope that the end of this project not only brings them relief, but brings them further security on their streets and helps to mitigate all of the impacts that the Disney campus and the rest of the economic growth in the city has brought to their neighborhood. So I hope more than anything that for the neighborhood, they come to embrace this bridge. Thank you very much.
This project, as Ara has said, has taken many, many years to get to this point. As the engineer on the city council, I appreciate all the engineers and the contractors involved in building this. I suppose it will probably be the last major street project that we'll do in this city. It's major. It's not easy to build over railroad tracks. Created a lot of problems for the city to deal with. I think it's going to be very interesting when this first opens. I hope we have traffic control out here, because when you come down off there, if you haven't driven this way, you have choices coming both ways. And there's going to be a number of people that are going to get confused out there and make the wrong turn, maybe going the wrong way. But I have to break in. It'll be great. I sincerely believe that this bridge will alleviate the traffic problems on San Fernando Road and the residential zones, breaking it down into 3 major arteries: Flower, Grandview, and this bridge. We'll see if we're right in the design of it. It's a great thing, and I'm just glad everybody was able to come today and enjoy the dedication. Thank you.
I'm very, very happy to be here, and as was mentioned earlier, I'm particularly happy for the residents of Pelancani Estates that are finally going to, they got their sound wall, number one, and finally are going to have some peace. But, well, I'm looking forward to just watching and counting the flow of traffic as it gets off the freeway and moves into the commercial park, let's call it that. So congratulations to everyone, and especially to Steve Zern and his team. I know they worked very hard to try to mitigate some of the issues concerning the project. So it's a pleasure to be here.
And good morning, everyone. On behalf of Senator Liu, it is my honor and privilege to present a certificate of recognition. Congratulations to the City of Glendale on the successful completion of your new bridge. It is bound to bring increased efficiency and public safety to our community. So thank you to all of the partners that were involved in making this possible. And for the mayor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Our Assemblyman, Mike Gatto, is here, and I'd like to invite him up to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. As the previous speakers have said, this is a great day for the city, and it's a great honor for me. As Jim Starbird mentioned when we were walking in, you don't get to attend too many bridge dedications these days. This one is particularly nice for me because all the hard work was done before I entered office, but yet I am here today to steal some of the credit. Now, in all seriousness, this is a very, very, very well-run city, And my hat goes off to everybody that was involved with this bridge for bringing this bridge in under budget. And as far as I can tell, it's a sound bridge, and and it seems like it's going to be a wonderful asset to this city. This is a great project. As many of you know, it was done with federal funds and state funds, and it's a type of project that my office is interested in doing in the future. So I hope that all the city residents and all the city leaders will consider my office a resource. I have Stacy Brenner here, who manages big projects from my office. Stacy, will you raise your hand? Great. So, please feel free to contact me or Stacy with any ideas you have. There are a number of sources of revenue out there, even during these difficult times. So, if you just have an idea and you're not sure how to bring it to fruition, please feel free to contact us anytime, and we'd be happy to let you know if there is funding available for any of your ideas. In closing, I just want to say that, again, how special this is to be here. And, I do hope that this is not the last bridge dedication. I know that we might not necessarily think right now that we need any more, but I do hope that in the years to come, this will not be the last bridge dedication. This will not be the last park dedication, that there will be many great public works in the city of Glendale, and I hope to be a part of that. So thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and congrats on a great day.
Now I need to talk about someone who I mentioned before, but who really deserves several people that deserve extra recognition. And we need to talk about Larry Zarian, who, sitting in the front row, who doesn't want anyone to recognize him. He's very humble man and doesn't request to be recognized too often. But he deserves recognition on this project because he was on the city council way back when this bridge was just a kernel of an idea that had not yet blossomed, and he supported it and encouraged it, and he was very much involved in transportation at that point, first on this Glendale City Council, then LA Metro, and then chairman of LA Metro. And when he left the Glendale City Council and LA Metro, he didn't stop being involved in transportation issues, and he didn't stop being involved and caring about the city of Glendale. And lo and behold, when this project ran into some difficulties with funding from Sacramento, we had our man there at the right place at the right time. Larry was sitting on the California Transportation Committee, and when we were short several fill-in-the-blank $1 million, Larry was there to fight for us and to make sure we had enough money to complete this bridge. And this could not be done without Larry's hard work on the CTC, on LA Metro, and back at the early stages of this fruition of this idea. Larry Zarian. I'd like to present you with this lovely plaque. This is the Larry Zarian plaque for all your work in the completion of the Fairmont Avenue Bridge. And I'm happy to present this to you, Larry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Najarian, and thank you for those kind words. Often, as a public servant, when you're involved in a community, you don't do these kinds of things because you look for credit. You don't do them because you need recognition. You do it because it's the right thing to do. And I'm very pleased to be a part of this. When this bridge was being talked about in its infancy, no one thought that this would happen. Of course, credit goes to those of you that have worked on the city staff. And you mentioned John Abagdanian and Steve Zern and Jim Starbird, our city manager. There were so many players that it doesn't take one person. When I got a call from the city that there was a shortage of money and sitting on the city on the State Transportation Commission. And by the way, I would like to recognize someone that was quite influential, also continues to work for our city and represents this area, the former majority speaker of the Assembly and State Commissioner Dario Fromer. Let's recognize him. We are very fortunate to have him. This is you have to have vision. You have to be visionary, and I was speaking to the homeowners. It's not easy for the homeowners to put up with this type of a project for the years that it took for them. But, you know, the end result is that we are going to alleviate a lot of traffic. And if we would have been visionaries for the state of California, our freeways and our byways and our streets wouldn't be in the disarray that they're in. And I'm hoping our new assemblyman will fight for it, because we are probably 30 years behind in investing money in our infrastructure. And I don't have to say anything. All you have to do is drive on several of the highways. Our bridges are in deep trouble, but that's totally, and I wish the bridges throughout the state of California look just the way this one looks. I'm very pleased. I'm very honored to be a part of this. Mayor Najarian, thank you very much again, and thanks to all of you for not only being here, putting up with everything, and for the hard work. Hard work pays. Glendale is a great city, and when we do work for the city of Glendale, we know that it is going to be a great project. And those of you that have put up with this, again, my thanks, and I know the city has thanked you many times. Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry, very much. Now, Larry is a strong man, and he has a lot of persuasive powers, but Larry couldn't get this job done alone at the CTC. We were so fortunate that while Larry was up there, he was fighting side by side with our very own Dario Fromer, a resident of Glendale, born and raised in Glendale, and a former assemblyman, former majority leader. And what good fortune we had in the city of Glendale to have two people, and these majority of the commissioners were from the San Francisco and Northern California area. And you know what they chant, you know, beat LA at the start of every commission meeting. But these two gentlemen fought hard, and right next to Larry, step by step, was Dario Fromer. Dario, would you please come up and accept a plaque from us?
Well, I have to say my involvement in this was quite involuntary. I just sat there next to Larry in the meeting, as I usually did, and I said, "Larry, how do I vote on this?" And he'd give me the sign, and everything turned out great. So, once again, let me just say that something about Glendale, having grown up here, as the mayor mentioned, is what I love about this community is a can-do community. For us to put everything together to make this bridge happen. This bridge is not only important for the neighborhood and for traffic, but we've suffered for many years and benefited from the train traffic along this corridor. And we've had some really nasty accidents on at-grade crossings. This is a city that took matters into its own hands, couldn't get help from the PUC, and a lot of these agencies don't want to do anything, and they just did it. And that's Glendale. That's the way this community has always worked since I was a kid. And so I just want to thank the members of the city council, all the people and city staff, for having the vision and the commitment, as you do on a variety of issues, and making this happen. And thank you for this.
And we've mentioned his name. He was just an assistant director of public works back then. He was probably about 50 pounds heavier than he is today. This couldn't get done without the hard work and perseverance of our public works director, Steve Zern. Steve, would you come forward?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I wasn't expecting that. I don't know that I deserve that. It's certainly a team effort, and I'll accept that plaque on behalf of all the men and women of this department who have worked tirelessly for the last 10-plus years. This has taken a long time, as has been mentioned already, but it's such a great project. I'm extremely proud of it, but most importantly, I'm proud of the effort and the dedication and hard work by all involved, certainly my employees, but also those of our partners in our consulting firms, design firms at URS, our contractor, the Griffith Company, just countless individuals who have worked very hard to make this come to fruition. I wish I could recognize all of them, but I do think it's important that we recognize a few of the people who really, really put in a tremendous amount of effort in all this. First of all, let me call up Ghulam Sheikh, who is He is this is a young man. Congratulations. He works for Jacobs Engineering. And Gulam, his trailer used to be right over here. I was pretty sure he lived in that trailer. And I'm not kidding. I think he did. It was like one of the family. His interests were Glendale's interests, and he worked tirelessly, effortlessly. He's a bright young man. We were very fortunate to get him to assist us with this, and we couldn't have done it without him. I'm very happy to present this to you, and thank you for all of your hard work on this, Gulam. From our design firm, URS, Jeff Chapman. Is Jeff here? Can Jeff come on up? Again. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Again, an individual who was just critical to this whole effort. We couldn't have done this without him. And again, it was as if this was his city. This was his blood and sweat and tears in this whole project. He worked very, very hard. Again, along with Gulam and the staff of the Public Works Department, we don't get this done without him. It's just that simple. And so, Jeff, again, thank you. And we look forward to working with you again sometime. We may build another one of these things. Judy, I think we were planning one right on the other side of your... Just kidding. But, Jeff, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
From the project management perspective on the city side, it was one person. He became the face of this project. He was here at all hours. He has been on this job since the beginning for over 10 years. He's been through the design process, through all of the bidding process, retaining the contractor, and every single day on this job. I mentioned Judy Taylor. Judy and Jolene know him very well. He was out here at all hours, and I mean all hours. 2 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. in the morning, Saturdays, Sundays. It never failed. This man worked his tail off for this project. There was never a time that I had any doubt that it wouldn't be done, and it wouldn't be done right because of the way that Vartan worked on this job. Just a tremendous effort. I have not seen anything like that as far as pure dedication, and there would be Sunday mornings and late Saturdays, and I would call, and there would be, or text, and there would be an instant response back, and he was out here if need be. Whether it was the gas company, our own water and power people, or the contractor, he was here all the time. He got it done. He's a talented man. He got it done, and he got it done right. And as has been said, under budget and on time. And in a job like this, and a job this big, that's pretty darn amazing. So, Vartanians, please come up.
Again, much has been said in terms of the teamwork and the cooperation between different agencies, different firms. I can't speak enough of that. One thing I just want to make sure, I want to recognize Mr. Janu Bagdanian for the trust and the flexibility that he allowed me to work on this project. It's been a joy. I've been in public service for 35 years. I haven't worked in any agency that is so efficient, so productive, and takes ownership of the project that they take. And it's just actually contagious. It just starts from the top, and it just kind of permeates through the lower ranks. And I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Last but certainly not least is an individual. We've been talking about the construction and the design, and folks have seen bits and pieces of this. Some of these folks have seen more than bits and pieces of it over the last 2.5 years, and that's kind of been how people have gauged this project, but this goes back a long time. The idea as far back as 1992, the design and schematics of this 10 years ago, and there's been one person who has been there the entire time. And it's not just the construction part. As difficult as that is and was, there are so many other things that go into this. Meeting with the different public agencies, negotiating with utility providers, with the railroad, with the Corps of Engineers. going in and working hard with Mr. Zarian to secure the financing, and then following up on all that. There's an audit process that goes through this. We've just had a pre-audit that was about a week long, and the paperwork, Vartan's been instrumental in that as well, but the amount of work that goes on that is really not the actual construction. And this gentleman has poured his heart in. This has been, I'm not sure what you're going to do, Jono, now that this is done. We truly are going to have to build something, because the letdown is going to be tremendous. But I have, again, as confident as I was in Vartan and running the management of the construction, I never wavered. Jono has done everything I've asked. He's done everything in the best interest of the city, and he has, through all of his efforts, created quite a legacy for us. He's improved safety and mobility and access and efficiency in the city, and left a lasting legacy for all of us. And he deserves a tremendous amount of credit. Jono Bagdanian.
I guess I'm out of words after what Steve told about me. Thank you very much. I think in every engineer's lifespan, when you're working as a professional, you get one chance to do one good project or a great project. And in my career, I would say this is the project that I got a chance to do, and it was a great project. As Steve said, it started in 1992, and it's been a long, long time to start a project from concept and then actually bring it to construction and complete the project. So it has been a great, great honor for me to work for City of Glendale Public Works Department and do a project of this caliber and finish it at a quality that it deserves, the city deserves to have. As was stated by Steve, I couldn't do this job without the help and partnership of a number of very, very professional people that were recognized here. Vartanians, no question, all the accolade he deserves and deserves more. Ghulam Sheikh, resident project engineer from Jacobs, Jeff Chapman, the designer. These are all the key people who brought this project together. Mr. Zarian on the policy funding side. And it was a great opportunity for me to complete this project, and I'm very, very proud of it. But I just want to say one last thing. I truly want to thank Steve Zarian for putting the trust in me and our staff to give us this opportunity. As I said, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do a project of this caliber. Thank you very much, Steve, for that opportunity. Thank you for all of it.